Yo, what is up? Welcome to the Greyt podcast, episode 55. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Got to take a sip of my Sprite. Hold on. All right, because I'm going to be yapping. All right. There's two main topics I want to talk about. The second one we'll get to. But first and foremost, I have to discuss this. It's the biggest topic in college football this week, this month, period. And that's the Nico. Oh, should I even try and say his last name? Iamaleava? Is that correct? We'll pretend like Iamaleava is correct. We got to talk about him. We got to. And we all know why. If you, for some reason, haven't heard the news, he wanted to renegotiate for a new contract with Tennessee, which is just a crazy thing to say with college football. And Tennessee, he wanted $4 million, which I think was double what he was going to get. And Tennessee was basically saying, yeah, you're not worth that, bro. You're not him, my guy. And then Nico decided to hold out and not show up to the spring practice. And that was the moment it really got serious for all of us. And right when that happened, basically, Tennessee comes out and says, yeah, Nico's not on the team anymore, and now he's going to enter the transfer portal tomorrow. He's currently talking to schools, though, right now. The main two schools are Tulane and UCLA. So what do I think, huh? Oh, man. It's rough because, unfortunately, this doesn't feel as surprising as it should. Let's start. I'm going to do this in three parts, okay? First, I'm going to talk about the NCAA. Then I'm going to go to Nico, and then I'm going to go to Tennessee. Okay, that's kind of the parts we're going to do this in. So let's start with the NCAA. The NCAA, year after year, continues to prove why they are one of the worst organizations to honestly ever exist. They have failed the student athlete. They have failed the universities. They have failed the fans of college football. Their inability to rein in and control NIL and the transfer portal has had many symptoms, and this is just the latest, and it is the most devastating. This was always going to happen. It was just a matter of who was going to do it first. And Nico is the one who's doing it first. And if we do not get control of the situation, it will continue to happen. And it is a travesty that we have alleged adults who work with NCAA who allowed this to happen due to utter incompetence. And I want to say that this will be the last straw and they'll finally put their foot down and something will happen, but I doubt it. I have no faith in them, and why should I? Realistically. And that's really all I have to say about to the NCAA, because that's all there is to say. They are fraudulent. They are incompetent. They are incompetence personified. Now I want to go to Nico and his agent. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Flat out. I don't understand anyone who could be defending him and this choice. And if you want to say, oh, this is all the agent, this isn't Nico. Oh, really? Then why did he not show up to practice? That's a Nico decision. You first go and you talk to Oregon and Dan Lanning to try and get more money, and you were so sloppy about it. And Dan Lanning goes and tells Josh Heupel, hey, your star quarterback is trying to go around asking for more money. And the most devastating thing for Nico is the fact that look at the schools who want him. Tulane and UCLA, because no other school that's worth their salt wants to deal with him and this nonsense of, oh, because none of them want to deal with this guy who clearly just wants money. That's all he wants is money. He has made that perfectly clear. He has made that evident. So why would you want him on your team? Why would you want him in your locker room? He's not a leader. He's not a leader. And then you have the report that comes out that he did this back before the playoff game in December. Leading up to their playoff game against Ohio State, Nico was trying to renegotiate then because the transfer portal was coming up in December. This kid doesn't care about football. He cares about money. And I would never want someone like that on my team, period. Never. That is a cancer to a locker room. And you can't win with that. And he sits here and he wants $4 million for what? For mid? Because that's how you played last year, Nico. You played very mid. And maybe part of that is because Tennessee didn't surround you with the best talent in the world. But then you could just ask, well, why'd you go to Tennessee in the first place then? Oh, that's right, because they gave you the most money when you were in high school. Which then brings me to Tennessee. Oh, and by the way, Nico is not getting $4 million from Tulane and UCLA. I doubt he'll even get as much as he was getting at Tennessee from Tulane or UCLA because him and his agent are idiots. But now we get to Tennessee. I think Josh Heupel made the right decision. I would have made the same decision. You want to try and strong arm me and you want to think you're something. You want to think you're more important than the program. Okay. Go see how much money you get from Tulane, buddy. From UCLA. Go ahead. Go and barely make a bowl game. You'll never sniff the playoff again. You fraud. However, this shouldn't surprise Tennessee, nor should it surprise their fans. You did not recruit, you bought this kid out of high school. What did you expect? What, you didn't realize the kid that you bought out of high school was going to allow other teams to potentially buy him, was going to be money hungry? What, that surprises you? Huh? Because it shouldn't. And just when I was starting to feel sympathy for Tennessee fans for the first time ever as a Georgia fan, just when I was starting to feel sympathy, I go on Twitter and all I see is Nico wasn't that good anyways. Our backup Merklinger or whatever his name is, he's way better. He was doing better in spring practice. We're going to have no fall off. We might even be better with Merk. And, we're going to be just fine. And, yeah. Can we stop coping? Can we stop coping? You know, just as well as I know, that Nico leaving is your playoff hopes leaving. That's the reality. Unless you make a miracle happen and some good quarterback enters the transfer portal and you nab them, you can sniff the playoff goodbye. Nico was mid, but he also got you to a playoff game last year with not very good talent around him, if we're being honest. And now the best player on Tennessee's offense that was helping him, Dylan Sampson, he's not there anymore either. So now you've lost your star quarterback, you've lost your star running back. You are not coming close to a playoff. You are not coming close to an SEC championship. It's not happening. You will go 8-4, 7-5, something like that. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's a crappy situation all around. I hope he ends up at Tulane making not even $1 million. That's what I hope, because that's what he deserves. Second thing I want to talk about is Colorado announced that they are retiring 2 jerseys, or 2 jersey numbers, I guess I should say. They are retiring Shedeur Sanders' number 2, and Travis Hunter's jersey, number 12. Can we stop with this nonsense, please? Can we stop pretending like Colorado and Shedeur and Dion are worth a damn? Can we stop? This team, they had an overall 13-11 record. I can understand. You can make me understand Travis Hunter. He is potentially the best player in the history of Colorado. Okay? You can convince me of that. Shedeur belongs nowhere. He does not belong to have his jersey retired. If Brock Bowers is not retired at UGA, then how can Shedeur be retired at Colorado? Riddle me that. Shedeur went 13-11 as a starting quarterback at Colorado. 13-11. They finally made a bowl game last year, and by the way, got blown out in that bowl game. Like, what are we doing? Or can we just be honest? Can we just be honest and say that if Shedeur's name, if his last name wasn't Sanders, if his last name was, I don't know, Smith, if it was Shedeur Smith, he wouldn't be a first-round draft pick. He wouldn't be getting his jersey retired at Colorado. He wouldn't be getting all the praise that he gets. Period. You know it's true. I know it's true. And it's going to be so awkward and ironic when Shedeur somehow ends up on my Steelers. That's going to be awkward. And I would welcome him. I would welcome him. Because you know what? At least we'd have another young quarterback, right? At least we have a young quarterback, not a ancient Russell Wilson or an ancient Aaron Rodgers. I just don't understand why we continue to want to just live in this fantasy that Shedeur Sanders is just this top tier quarterback who deserves to get his jersey retired at Colorado for going 13-11. Like, what are we talking about right now? Whenever they faced anyone good, they got destroyed. That is the reality. That's the reality, guys. That's the reality. I've never seen someone accomplish so little and get rewarded so much for being mid. I mean, has there ever in history been someone whose jersey has gotten retired when they haven't won a national championship, won a conference championship, been a Heisman finalist? None of it. Has there ever been someone like that? Is Shedeur the first one ever like that? He might be. And again, you can convince me of Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter was one of the best players in college football for 2 years. He's probably the best player in Colorado history, to be honest. But Shedeur Sanders getting his jersey retired is an absolute embarrassment. Great. No one will be allowed to wear the number 2 anymore because, sorry, guys, we retired the jersey of our mediocre quarterback for 2 years, who got us no conference championship, no national championship, no playoff appearance, no bowl wins, wasn't a Heisman finalist. Sorry, guys, can't wear 2. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. It's ridiculous. And I've been saying, by the way, Georgia should 100% retire Brock Bowers' jersey. I would have done it yesterday. I would have done it the day he left. He deserves it. He's the best tight end potentially in college football history. He's the best tight end in Georgia history by far. He's one of the best tight ends in the NFL right now. He won 2 back-to-back national championships with us. I would retire, and it's not like his jersey number is common. It's 19. I mean, why not retire it? This was a little bit of a shorter episode today. I just need to get those 2 things off my chest. And I'll make up for it next week because next week is going to be a longer episode because we're doing a 2 or maybe 3-round mock draft. I'm thinking a 2-round mock draft. So that'll be a longer episode. The week of the draft should be a whole lot of fun. I hope everyone has a tremendous Tuesday afternoon. And don't forget to go out there and be great.